Cult members, are you ready? It's time for the Green Mask. The home of all things nerdy.
We're live.
Hello.
And my mic's unmuted this time.
Good.
Tonight we're gonna talk about cryptids. Cause
My favorite.
I like cryptids. Bear
Hell
likes
yeah.
cryptids. Where was I? We're gonna talk about cryptids themselves, but we're also going to talk about a little section where we talk about logical points of view, like ones that have been proven to be this, that, or the other, like actually existent or not existent. And we're gonna bring up our own little theories because Bear has a few and I have a few, and we have a few that we were just going the fuck off about just now. We'll get to that one. That one's in the second section. We're gonna start with the bigger guys, the ones that everyone knows, and we're gonna start with Bear's favorite.
Bigfoot. My boy.
Sasquatch. So, Sasquatch has been a fucking thing for God knows how long. All the way back, almost as long as, like, human storytelling, basically. Like, there's indigenous legends of it. There was actually a native law that was, it saw them as the protectors of the land.
In just in the last 300 or so years, like we've got so many stories that go back to, pioneer days.
Yeah.
And then Native American history. That goes back, hundreds and hundreds of years before that. So
And I
they've
guess
been
it kind of ties in. You've got also the skunk ape, which I think you said our friend Jess actually has stories about skunk ape.
yeah, I think we all know somebody who's seen some sort of like Bigfoot.
And it would also tie into the Yeti.
Yeah, it's like a regional difference,
Yeah,
climate difference.
nerdy as fuck, but in Yu-Gi-Oh they have a series of cards called Danger, and it's cryptids, right?
Really? I didn't know
And
that.
they've got Danger Bigfoot. I got a deck with them in it. They got Danger
What?
Bigfoot. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So there's an alt art variant of Danger Bigfoot, which is a Yeti.
What? Hold
Yeah.
on.
So fucking dope, dude. I got a deck with Mothman, Bigfoot, Nessie, and Chupacabra in it.
It's just called Danger.
Danger with an exclamation point.
What?
Yeah. They're really good, too.
No shit. Ogopogo,
Oh, yeah.
Nessie,
I have an Ogopogo.
Thunderbird. Yo, Dogman, Bigfoot. What? Mothman.
No shit. I guess I just convinced Bear to play Yu-Gi-Oh! By bringing up fucking cryptids. That's
What?
literally how I convinced you to play fucking MetaZoo. I was like, hey, Kentucky Goblins.
Danger.
You were like, I'm fucking sold.
Dogman.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Bigfoot and Yeti. I'm on the side of the fence that they are, like you said, like the same creature, just a different area.
Yeah, like a skunk ape
Obviously,
is just a,
the pigmentation would be
just a
different
Bigfoot.
because it needs to be dark to hide in woods, but being dark on the side of a snowy mountain would stick out like a fucking sore thumb. So it obviously would have different hair pigment because why would it be dark, you know?
Right.
Like a
So
polar bear.
different regional, yeah, different regional variants, and like depending on what kind of continent you're on, because they're on like just about every continent. The Australian people have a Bigfoot like creature.
Do they? Hold up.
Yeah.
Let's.
I forgot what it's called.
I'll just look
I
up.
know the Russian Bigfoot is a yan. Damn it.
Oh, the
I forgot.
Yowie.
Yeah, Yowie. There it is.
That's the Australian one.
Yeah.
I've heard of this one.
Where do you think I get my name from on Steam? Sussmate. With Sassmate.
Yeah. Russian Bigfoot.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called. It was called a Alma. It was called
Almusty?
Almas. A North Caucasan Turkic
Almus,
folklore.
or
Yeah.
they're known as the Almusty or Almasi for female, I
A
guess.
popular theory for what happened to the Daltov Pass was an Almas.
I think this is more and more playing into my personal idea of what Bigfoot is.
It's
I fully believe that it is some sort of great ape that is our cousin, which Gigantopithecus has been used
is another
as.
theory.
Yeah, it's been
That's a good
used as
one
a
too.
theory. Is it just Gigantopithecus still alive, which would be our cousin, which would be an unidentified great ape because we think that they're extinct.
You know, it's funny because my favorite podcast, my second favorite podcast, second favorite to this one is Bigfoot Sasquatch Chronicles. At the end of
Interesting.
every episode, he asks his guests, "What do you think Bigfoot is?" And I like listening to everyone's responses, but they fall into like two camps. And one is that, well, maybe two or three, it's just a lost North American primate, or it's Nephilim.
Well, you say primate, but I specify great ape because great
Oh,
apes,
great ape.
yeah, great
Great
apes
apes
are
is
the intelligent ones, like us, like orangutans, like gorillas. The more intelligent
yeah,
species are known as great ape, and they're usually bigger and more human-like.
fair enough.
And Gigantopithecus was a great ape. Uh,
Yeah,
I firmly believe that it is a great ape. There is entirely too much theory. In fact, I don't remember which one of the hair tests it was. One of them came back as ape hair.
right. They usually come back as human or
Human
like
or ape.
mixed with animal. And to me, that makes perfect sense because if these are, I think they're just a lost tribe of humans.
I don't think that they're humans because their size and the genetically no human has a build like that. They're built like a much bigger species of animal or of great ape. That's why I think that
That is
really
good.
plays into
That
them
is good.
being like Gigantopithecus because they're not built like a human. Their muscles aren't shaped like ours. Their bones aren't shaped like ours. They're more
I listen
shaped.
to, I've never seen, Bigfoot. I'm not a knower. I'm a believer. I listen to a lot of podcasts and a lot of interviews of eyewitnesses, and to me, like that's the biggest evidence there is just eyewitnesses. There's so many of them. There's so many eyewitnesses um, that statistically, like they cannot be lying. It's
Okay,
impossible
you
that every one of them are lying,
you
right?
got your thingy majigger open, right? Your
Uh,
your
by
your
search engine.
yes, Google.
Yeah.
Uh, look up Gigantopithecus and look
Uh-huh.
at the pictures that they have of it, and tell me. Don't look at the museum model that they had from way back in the day because that one
I
that
mean, yeah,
one
it's just It's just a really big orangutan.
Well,
Now
somewhat.
we're going off of like we're going off of all this from a molar, a
Okay,
tooth.
hold up.
The entire skeleton of a Gigantopithecus comes down to a tooth. We don't actually have anything.
This. Look at this picture. Uh, open image, a new tab.
You
Oh,
can
that
send it
sucks.
to the chat, by the way.
I,
You can send it to the chat.
I didn't think about saving it. I just sent it in the fucking stream
You can
thing.
just right click and copy. Okay, yeah. That's a famous mock up.
That genuinely to me looks like a Bigfoot.
I mean, yeah, like
1,000%. That is exactly what people describe when they say, I saw a Bigfoot. They describe this to a T. Down to
yeah,
even the videos we've seen that
it's pretty
people can't
it's pretty
describe,
close.
like the ones that we know 100% aren't fake, we can't prove what's in them. They show shit that looks like that.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what we know of with Gigantopithecus, because we do have more than just a molar. We do have like an arm bone and
What
like
gets me though,
some metatarsals and shit. So we know approximately how long its limbs were.
I
And
say close but no cigar.
the kicker for me is between the shoulder and the wrist. How it's a lot longer than a human's proportion would be is exactly how every Bigfoot video and picture I've ever seen is built. It is exactly like it.
It's close, but it's not. Yeah, like I said, it's close but no cigar.
I I personally believe that this is fully it, maybe if not this, something related to this, because it just it it to me, it even the every description of Bigfoot, it sounds like if you didn't know what Bigfoot was, but you knew what an ape was, you were like, you're just describing an ape.
If you're ready for like tinfoil hat time, because I've come to a conclusion in my head.
Oh
That
Jesus.
seems like the best description of like what they actually are, what they could be. Like tinfoil hat time, I think they're just genetically modified people, or vice versa. Like I don't know who came first, us or Bigfoot, because they're ancient, right?
Hey,
But they're I think they're genetically modified.
but that would be the
So,
same as it being another great ape species. It would be a new species of great ape that's genetically modified.
but get this, both a new genetic species of ape and a subspecies of person, human.
That, but that's exactly what I think they are. They are a great ape. They are another
Right.
species of great ape
With
that we
people.
didn't know
With
about.
the part I'm trying to do is just like whipped cream, like with people. Like it. I think they're like a Neanderthal. If you think Neanderthal mixed with, your Gigantopithecus, you would have a person that, because whenever they take DNA of Bigfoot, whenever they find it, it's always like a person's or some, ape, or like, and like, well, yeah, that makes sense to me because they're too intelligent to be just an ape.
That
They're too intelligent for that.
Yeah, that's
There's
why I
something
say,
else.
well, we are apes. We genetically, our DNA is great ape.
Right.
We are. What you say, human, like as if we aren't apes, though. Like we literally
Exactly. Like,
are apes. So that it literally would just be another species of great ape, which is what I personally think they are. Is just an unidentified species of great ape, one that we didn't know existed. Modern day humans are literally a mix of 3 different great ape species. We're mixed of Homo erectus, Neanderthalis, and Denisovan.
Yeah.
And Denisovans are almost identical to what people say hobbits are. I don't know if you want to throw that in here. Little like hobbits, like little gnome
Yeah, short
things,
people.
are
Yeah,
literally quite like
short
pygmies. They even describe them as like
Dwindies.
they're like pygmies. Oh, we had that in the list for later. We'll
Yeah,
talk about that
Dwindies.
though.
Yeah,
We'll
little
get to
little
that.
creatures, gnomes.
Uh, but yeah, no, I think we are both exactly on the same page. It's literally just another great ape. It's not some mythical being. It's literally another species that we didn't know about, which we are every day finding. We've in the past year found like several thousand species that we didn't know existed.
But
Like,
all this just explains like, how it looks and how it acts, but how like the physical properties of it. But what we're not talking about is the spiritual properties, like the weird things, man. Like how we can't never catch up to it or take a good photo of it. Like we can never
okay, the good photo
um
thing, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring with that. For some reason, we never get good photos of anything we want to see.
it's almost like they have this aura about them that just makes photos, blurry when you try to take a photo of them.
I don't,
It's
I,
like they're never in focus.
I don't know about all that because personally,
Electromagnetic,
like I
like
said,
a
what I mean, it's very possible that that is something that that species of ape
they
could
fuck
do.
with
Like we,
um trail cams. They fuck with trail cams. Like I think they can see IR, and they actively avoid IR, which is how trail cams take photos, motion sensors, night vision, like that sort of thing. I think they fuck with it. And to go further down that like woo rabbit hole is this is gonna dip into like other cryptids like
so
the foxfire.
so we got to pull a Joe Scott and throw on our woo woo alarm and get our little red alarm and come.
I I think Bigfoot and foxfire. What's the other word for it?
Foxfire.
Will the wisp, will the wisp, foxfires,
Wait,
that
wait,
type of
wait,
thing.
wait, 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 wait. Really quickly, let me look up what foxfires.
It's like the UK version of will the wisp.
Like, okay, so when you said that, what I was thinking was the I can't remember the name of it. It's the Japanese.
Oh, that's a plant. Oh, well, I was thinking of a like a ghost, fiery.
Yeah, you're thinking the
Hold up.
Inari from Japan. They have a myth about. I mean, it's probably in UK too, but what when you said that, it made Nine Tails is based off of it. It's like the fox goddess of Amaterasu's like pet.
That's exactly what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mixed it up
the
with a
Inari,
fungus.
I think it's called.
Oh, okay. But the will the wisp, I think they are connected to Bigfoot, like the Brown Mountain Lights. I think they're connected because of Native American tales. Uh, some say that they travel, with those lights.
I
It's wild.
I want to separate the brown mountain lights from willow wisps though, because willow wisps I feel like are more have a actual scientific explanation, which we'll get to.
You don't think
Stuff
they're the actual lost souls of like the damned or
well,
seeking
well
retribution?
specifically not willow wisps. Willow wisps are only ever seen in swampy, watery areas. They're never seen anywhere else. Willow wisps specifically are also known as the swamp spirits. So, no, I want to separate those because the Brown Mountain Lights are much different. They're more like the ghost marchers from Hawaii. They're supposed actual spirits marching, you know? The
To me, I
will-o-wisps
think
are just lights that come up out of the water and like float there and glow. They don't move or anything.
but what I'm trying to say is that um, people who have like Bigfoot encounters, they would sometimes see lights in the forest. Hell, even if people don't see Bigfoot, they would see these lights just flying through the forest. Sometimes they're as bright as headlights. So I don't know,
Where
but
do
yeah,
they
it's
have
probably not
those?
will-o-wisp
Oh shit.
per se.
Okay, no, we're far away from that. I wanted to bring up something, but we'll get to it when we get to that section. Yeah. No, will-o-wisp specifically. The Brown Mountain Lights, I think, more so would play into it, but will-o-wisps are more swampy. They're almost exclusively in swamps, you know.
You know what's funny is that on those danger cards, Dangers of the Divine, they have what looks like to be forest lights
Dangers of
dancing. Like
oh
I googled
so okay, so
Yu-Gi-Oh danger cards.
Dangers of the Divine isn't
You see the
doesn't
artwork?
it doesn't deal with the danger cards. That deals with Winged Dragon of Ra. That's Ra's spirit that you're seeing.
Oh,
Yeah, I
so that has nothing to do with
no.
that
When
has
you
nothing to
said
do with
that
the.
name, it dawned on me. It's literally in my Ra deck. It summons Winged Dragon of Ra.
That's funny. There's like a skeleton of a dinosaur in one of these cards. What the fuck?
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Danger zone.
Um,
Jackalope.
do you think
Chupacabra.
that's a good? That you think we've said everything to say about Bigfoot?
No, God, no. I could talk for hours, but move on.
I was
Time
gonna
to
say
move on.
we only have like an hour. We're
I
already
could talk
22 minutes
forever
in, and it's
about
all been
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot. Um, Mothman,
All right, going on to the next danger card.
Mothman, and Injured Cold. I want to include Injured Cold because they go together.
Yeah, it's kind of synonymous. Do you know why they're always pictured together?
No, but I do know the MetaZoo cards. Injured Cold let you, or Mothman lets you look through your deck to find an Injured Cold.
What's the lure of injured cold? Do you know?
He, I know the two big stories about Injured Cold. The first one is the cop that he's riding down the road and he sees this light and he stops and the spaceship lands 20 feet in front of his car, and a tall, slender man with pale white skin and a black suit and a trilby hat with a evil, crooked grin on his face steps out, and without moving his lips, he talks to him and tells him, "Be not afraid, I am Injured Cold," yada, yada, yada. And they have like an hour-long conversation, then Injured Cold gets back in his spaceship and leaves, and the guy just sits in his car for a while like, did that just happen? And this is a cop.
Now, why is it tied in with Mothman?
I don't know, actually. I know.
So, did you know? Did you know that same police officer? He met injured cold like 2 more times after that.
No, I didn't know
I think
that.
at least one more time after that.
I know I've heard that story. So I know that they're related again because of the MetaZoo card, because I had a deck
Did
built
you know
around
injured cold
Mothman.
has a brother?
No, but also Injured Cold is a chance
Yes,
encounter
son.
you can get in 76. After you encounter a Mothman, you can encounter a smiling man, literally the smiling man, that looks exactly like Injured Cold, and he talks funny, but his mouth never moves, and he's got that creepy grin.
That's dope.
It's a chance encounter.
But
I ran into him one time.
it's so strange that injured cold is your like typical like alien encounter from an eyewitness, like right down to the spaceship. There's a spaceship, by the way, and
Yes.
the second encounter, you met Injured's crew, like two other Injured Cold stepped out of the ship, and it's like, you got your Mothman encounter, but then you have, which is a cryptid, I guess, and then in the same town you had an extraterrestrial, like, close encounter. Yeah, John Keel, he talked to the people, the guy who had an encounter with Injured Cole, and I can't remember all the details, but it went into details, like lore. But it was like a prophecy of, like, it's usually, the prophecies are usually like, if you keep going down the path, you're going to destroy your only, like, living planet that you can reside on, and yada yada yada. Stop using atomic bombs. It's usually the same talk like that. And Injured Colds is no different. He warned them, like, if you don't stop. I forgot how it was tied into, like, the Silver Bridge, but I think it was like around the time that everybody was experiencing, like, some kind of weird interference with their phones around the
I
same time.
I don't I don't know how he plays in. I'm reading through his thing now, and they don't actually really mention how he connects with Mothman. It's just that they always appear.
It happened around the same time
Yeah,
as the Mothman.
they always
Um,
appear at
in
similar
I think
times.
it was near the same area as Point Pleasant.
Um,
I think it was Point Pleasant. Yeah,
yeah, Point Pleasant's where the Silver Bridge is. October 11th, 1966. Silver Bridge collapse. Let's see when that was. Because that was when the two boys, which was the other story that I heard about these two boys, a year later was when Mothman was seen at the Silver Bridge collapse.
it's like a ominous presence, and Mothman was spotted not only at Chernobyl during the disaster, but he was also spotted at the Fukushima nuclear power plant.
Yes. Uh, Part of his lore is, and this also plays in the 76. If you can't tell, I started playing 76 because of the cryptids. Uh, Man, it was
Fair
Fallout.
enough.
Man, it was Fallout. So, where you find him is actually where he is said to be seen the most often, which is around the bomb domes where they kept nuclear and
The
hazardous
TNT,
materials. Yeah,
yeah,
the
the
TNT
TNT
domes.
area.
And that's where he has a chance encounter to pop up in 76 is around those. And Jesus, like, every time you hear about it, it's always something, except the Silver Bridge. It's always something involving explosives or nuclear materials. So,
Yeah,
how does the
loss
Silver
of
Bridge
life.
play into that, though? Like, loss of life,
The Silver
yeah,
Bridge
but
collapsed. It killed a bunch of people.
all the other events were all like physically destructive events, like
There was
nuclear
also,
events.
I think, the main tithe is loss of life. You know, at a disaster, which, who knows, like, that TNT area might be um of importance.
I don't. I'm not 100% sure.
Who knows? The area, the road that goes up to the TNT storage facility, it was like weird shit going on there too. That's where those teenagers got chased by
Mm-hmm.
Mothman.
Mm-hmm.
And investigator John Keel, he, like, the radio would always go out in a certain area and his car would sputter.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some weird shit that goes on there.
There's also, wow, holy shit, I didn't know this. Wow, holy shit. Okay. So
You're learning.
there's also an event in the Cornish
76.
area of England known as Owlman. It is from 1976, and oh, okay, so I've never heard of this. 1976, this large owl-like man named dubbed Owlman was seen running around this town, right?
Hmm.
So
Running.
there's an explanation, as in this has been proven to be false. Owlman was literally an eagle owl, which is a gigantic fucking breed of owl.
Mm-hmm.
So this plays into something that me and you were talking about before the stream. A while back, some researchers went out in the woods in West Virginia, and they took a great barn owl, which is the biggest breed of barn owl in the United States. It's massive owl. They're endemic to the woods of West Virginia and shit like that. And they took it, didn't tell anyone but the cops, so that the cops didn't go out there and accidentally shoot the barn owl. They took it, set beside a road in a wooded area in West Virginia, and within like a 1 or 2 hour period, they had like 60 Mothman reportings.
That's funny.
And they determined, they took a picture, they went from the road view with a light and took a picture of this barn owl in the woods. And every person that said, I saw Mothman, they showed them this picture. And every single one of them immediately, high excitement, like fully believing that this is a picture of Mothman. That's it. That's what I saw. I saw that. They look at him and then they bring the barn owl out and they go, this is what you saw. It was this guy. And they said the name of the owl. It was literally a research owl. And they proved that a lot of these sightings of Mothman can easily be proven to be a sighting of these gigantic owls that live in the woods, because when light hits their eyes reflect red. And it reflects back glowing brightly. So every single Mothman sighting has always said it has glowing red eyes, and that is the first thing that happens when you shine light at a great barn owl's eyes.
So by that logic, every single Mothman sighting was actually just an owl.
No. Well, what that proves, and what the Owl Man proves, is that sometimes Occam's razor is absolutely right, because in a lot of these cases, the cops tell them, look, you probably just saw an owl, and the person's like adamant, it wasn't an owl, and this proves that in some of those cases, it was probably an owl. There's probably cases where they've seen things like the one that tore up the top of the car. Barn owls don't spread their legs as wide as a fucking 1965 Chevy Malibu. That's a big, wide fucking car. Mm-hmm. That we can't prove, but a lot of these sightings where they say, "Ho, I was driving down the road and Mothman was sitting beside the road and he just stared at my car." That can almost, I would almost put money on it that they saw a great barn owl and just misidentified it. They just didn't realize what they were looking at, because if you look at a barn owl, its face is literally shaped almost a carbon copy of every description of Mothman's face that
they also said it was you've heard of the sand crane, right? The sand crane theory.
I have not.
The red sand crane.
The red sand crane.
Something red. It might just be a sand crane.
Red sandhill crane.
That's it. That was also like a really popular theory.
Okay, yeah, no, I have heard this one. Yeah. This is the one that I'm fully not with it, because it has a giant red spot on its face and then the rest of its body is red, whereas all the depictions of Mothman, they say he has dark wings, and barn owls have dark wings on their feathers. These things are bright and have bright red feathers in the breeding season. I feel like
Mothman was never described to have antenna or to look like a moth at all. It was actually like bird-like.
We don't know where the name, I don't know where the name Mothman comes from, because no description of him was ever insect-like.
It was from a magazine. Yeah, I think it was from like a newspaper article that screwed up a description of it. And I think they coined, some magazine said, "We'll just call it a moth."
Maybe that's where it come from. I don't know, but I fully am in the camp that, a lot of the Mothman sightings, like, we can't disprove every single sighting, but it's like even with the Bigfoot, it's like some that people thought was a real sighting for years and years and years. The people come out and was like, "Look, it's fake. Like, here's the shit we did it with. It's fake."
Could have been an alien.
Like, some of them, you can't. Some of them can be proven false, but maybe not all of them. But especially with like the Mothman, they absolutely proved that misidentification can make you think you see something that you're not seeing. Like, you think you're seeing.
What about the theory that it was a Russian spy? The eyes were red night vision goggles. The wings were remember the wings were stiff and didn't flap.
Yeah,
that could have been like experimental, like jump pack technology. Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
That one actually, honestly, might have merit, because have you read some of the technology that they were using in the Cold War? Some of it was very cartoony.
Could be.
That sounds cartoony enough to be Cold War tech. I mean,
Spring Heel Jack reminds me of how they described Mothman to like fly, which he just took off, didn't flap his wings or anything. That's kind of like how Spring Heel Jack would just like jump, but he would not put any effort into it and just fly straight up over a wall.
Spring Heel Jack, though, they're almost positive that was a human. Like, Mothman, weird. Some of the stuff,
it was weird.
Like,
the descriptions,
I don't
the
know
descriptions the descriptions of Spring Heel Jack with like it acted like if it was a person, it acted like a person who was like insane, I guess.
Yeah, so
strange.
They had a suspect that they were almost positive that was Spring Heel Jack. Like, they all but had a confession. They had like proof of it, but not with beyond a shadow of a doubt proof. It was like he always had an excuse. It was a rich guy who lived in London at the time and was batshit fucking crazy and sadistic as shit. And he got his jollies off by torturing people. And with that being illegal, he decided that he would take to the streets with his band of friends who all had criminal records for mischief and things like that Spring Heel Jack did. And they went to his house, they raided it when he wasn't there, and they found the mask, the jump boots. He was using these spring boots. The metal claws, and the device that he used in his hand, the flint box that he used to make the fireball that had the gas in it. It had a little gas canister and flint in it, and he would strike it, and it would throw a blue flame at people. So they had literally all the evidence that they needed to put him in jail, but he always had a fucking excuse. Like, and ones that were like... It wasn't
me. Yeah.
It was one of those almost infallible excuses, is like, well, you can't prove it isn't true kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they never were able to persecute him, and before the court cases were even done, he jumped ship to America, and he's actually the person that they believed was the American serial killer that they thought was Jack the Ripper. And he's also
Interesting.
suspected to be Jack the Ripper. Like, the guy
Interesting.
has, like, a long rap sheet of, like, we believe that this guy did this because
He
we
was the
have...
Great Fox too.
the Jack the Ripper one, they have no proof on. But he moved to America, and the year that he moved to America in the town that he moved to is when the serial killer went active. And they pretty much placed it to within a block away from where he was living at. So they have some proof that he moved to America and started killing people. They have no proof that he's Jack the Ripper other than he lived in London at the time and was a sadistic person. So they don't...
You've got the answer to everything, don't you?
No, I don't think he was Jack the Ripper, but I do think because they had the actual, all of the stuff that Spring Hill Jack had, and coincidentally his name was Jack, and he wore spring boots, so I mean the name literally makes sense. It's Spring Hill Jack. They have the proof that he was Spring Hill Jack, and they have all but the proof that he came to America and started murdering people.
Wow, the more you know.
Yeah, I watched a lot on him because Batman is kind of based off of him. The design of Batman, the original design of Batman is 1,000% like the artist admitted it. He based it off of Penny Dreadfuls of Spring Hill Jack.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I went deep diving and I fell down a rabbit hole, and like Spring Hill Jack is like, you always hear about the mythical side of it, but it's like it was a real crime that was going on in London, and there was a real police investigation. Like, they still have the paperwork about it because it's still technically an open case.
Interesting.
It was they were going to charge him with mischief, and then he got one woman really bad. His claws, like, gouged up her chest extremely bad. Like, she needed stitches and got infected and shit. And they started tacking on assault with malicious intent and a couple of other charges on it, and it started racking up, and then he started using explosives. He was throwing little bombs and shit, and then they were giving him explosives charges, and they have like a list of charges that they were trying to slap on the guy, so they were trying to get him.
Well, I hope they catch him.
He's long dead now. Yeah, so we got sidetracked, but that is a cryptid. He is a cryptid, but it is a very real true crime thing that happened that was an actual person that they were pursuing. So it's like you hear a lot about the Penny Dreadful side where it was like he's a mythical creature who hunts down people. It's like, but the reality of it is he was a weird sadistic man that was trying to hurt people. We'll skip forward now because we were on Mothman. Okay. Various Nessies.
I was waiting for you.
I go down rabbit holes and then I have no one to tell the information to until the moment arises and it just vomits out.
You gotta stem it out.
The various Nessies. We're gonna talk about 4 of them here.
It is kind of strange that it's like every lake seems to have like their own like Nessie.
Yeah, there's more than what we're gonna talk about here, but in fact, we're gonna talk about one a little bit later. That is technically in the category of Nessie, and we'll get to it. We're talking about the Loch Ness Monster, the original Nessie, which we'll put a little asterisk beside Nessie because we'll get to it. Ogopogo, who you saw Danger earlier, has Ogopogo. Champy. And then we've got one here in our own personal state that's called, where'd the name go? The Lake Murray Monster, a.k.a. Messy.
Messy. Murray.
Um,
Mercy.
so starting off with Nessie, we got a little asterisk beside it because I don't remember how long ago in the past couple of years Nessie has been confirmed to be a hoax.
Yeah.
Uh, so Nessie itself, we've got the asterisk beside it because it's technically not a cryptid anymore because we know it's fake.
Yeah, it's kind of dead and buried, I think.
Um,
Nail in the coffin. There's been a lot of technology been brought out to that Loch Ness.
Even beyond that, well, for those that haven't caught up, the son of the guy who took the original Nessie photos came forward with the model, the wooden model that was used, the little wooden toy.
Yeah,
The
it's been
original
dead. Yeah.
photos, the original newspaper contest for submit your creature picture here or whatever, and it won. Submit your lake picture or something like that. It was just like a regular lake contest, and he submitted this and won, and then had the original pictures as well. And he goes, "Look, Nessie's not real. It never has been real. My dad made it up to win money. It he milked it because he liked money. My dad was kind of a scam artist. He didn't say that, but he did say that his dad made it up for money and then continued to milk it to his death because he liked money. So his dad was kind of a scam artist. But as you said, they have literally mapped every single inch of Loch Ness. Loch Ness is a big, deep lake, but it is
Yeah,
just that. It is a
they took
lake.
submarines. They took sonar. They took radar. They
Yeah,
took 3D scans
it's
of the
not.
of the bottom. If there was anything in there, it'd have been scanned by now.
It's not
Um,
it's not the ocean. It's a finite body of water.
it
We
is
have
like
searched.
300 foot by 600 foot. It's a fucking massive
It's a
lake.
big lake, but it's a finite body of water. And at this point, after 70, 80 years, we have literally mapped every single inch of that lake. And there
To
is
me, the nail in the coffin
nothing.
was when they took DNA samples throughout the lake,
And found nothing
and
strange.
found it was just the greatest amount of DNA found were eels,
Yeah.
but there was so much of the eel DNA, it was like way out of proportion
Yeah, so it's
of what should have been like a native eel population. It was just incredibly large amount of DNA
so
from eels.
the original photo 100% fake. Other sightings since then, as you mentioned, and I
Uh,
didn't even have to mention it, they have almost entirely now, like 99.998%, chalked up every other Nessie sighting to being a eel that they probably didn't previously know there was a large population of in the water. Like you said, there's a larger amount of eel DNA than there should have been in the water.
yeah, so there could be like one or a family of like really large eels that
Yes,
surface and make those humps.
that
Like you can see them waving,
might entirely be what people are
but
seeing.
what that doesn't explain is like why is things like Nessie seen all over the world? Like
Um,
every lake has a giant eel issue.
so
I've even seen footage of like kayakers come really close to something big underneath a body of water,
so
small body of water.
here's my personal uh view of it. The reason why there's you know so many lakes that have there's so many bodies of water that have the same thing is, what if it's a case of the same thing? We didn't realize what
Yep. Yeah.
there was a large body of water or there was a larger breed of eel, or we didn't, because like you said, every
Right.
time they do these searches, the only weird thing they find is like, hey, this one fish has like a lot of DNA in this water and it probably shouldn't. Another thing that it can be chalked up to, particularly for Lake Murray or Messy, What people are chalking it up to is either A, because it being the deep south, we have these goddamn massive breeds of catfish.
Yeah, it could be a giant catfish.
Could be a
They
giant
get
fucking
big.
catfish, or
They
it
could
could be, and this is
look at the
one
back
that
of a catfish. It
is
looks
one
like
that you're
a
not going to think about.
like a
Alligator gar.
spiny, yeah, a spiny back too. Those things are long too. So if a really big one were to surface,
It would
you would
look like a
see like
monster, yeah.
humps. Yeah, humps like going up and down.
So a lot of people haven't thought about that because nobody seems to talk about it
Gars.
when they talk about it is gar. And particularly being in the South, alligator gar, because it has a very monstrous face with these sharp ass teeth, like a sea
Gar.
monster.
Gar.
So
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in regular old species, but with gigantism, like huge snakes, alligators. I think a lot of cryptids are misidentified, massive, like regular creatures.
okay, you specifically mentioned uh
Uh,
Lake Champlain and Champy slash
oh yeah, 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 yeah. Interesting thing. Did you know there's a creature from the Black Lagoon sighting at Lake Champy,
Lake Champlain?
Champlain?
Huh.
Yeah, it was a family picnicking at the lake, and their daughter, a little 6-year-old, comes screaming, running back from the pier of like a fish person with like webbed
I've heard that
fingers.
story because literally the first thing I thought of was the creature from the Black Lagoon because I like those old 50s pulp horror movies.
Yeah, so
Um,
add that to the list.
so Lake Champlain specifically, this one has a little bit more of a provenance than the other ones because this one is the oldest lake monster story in the U.S., I believe.
Really?
1819, the oldest documented at least.
Damn.
Uh, a well over 200 years of us hearing about this. So Lake Champlain, I remember reading about this. There's this one picture from Lake Champlain of the Lake Champlain monster, and I'm see if I can find it real quick. It's go into the Discord chat. I'm gonna send you this picture real quick. This picture has stuck with me for years because what I see in that image.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
So I blew it up and I'm looking at it. And every time I see this image, I'm not seeing what most people describe as like a plesiosaur or something like that. I see something with almost like a seal face.
Is that an eye?
Yeah, okay, so here, let me share my screen because I'll be able to blow it up for you better. Look right in here. You can see two eyes and a pair of nostrils, and then an open mouth with two fangs coming down.
Okay, yeah.
You
I
see that? You see
Yeah.
how very seal-like that looks? I'm
I
not saying
guess.
it is a seal. I'm saying look how
It just
seal-like it is.
looks like a vampire carp.
And then all these other pictures that we see are from this angle from behind.
That's a classic. Yeah.
This one, in my opinion, doesn't. People keep saying it's a log, but I don't see that. If that was a log, that would be
Driftwood, maybe.
a mangrove tree, which doesn't grow in New York. It's too curvy to be the type of trees that grow around there, which are normally very straight, not very warpy like
It looks
that.
like a very serpentine creature.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a piece of wood to me, personally. I don't know about you, but just to me, that personally doesn't look like a piece of wood. And then, there's this one. That is a piece of wood, though.
That probably is wood.
That is a piece of wood. I would go to argue that maybe even the first picture I showed you, because for some reason, to me, the face almost doesn't look real.
Like a little toy.
It almost looks, especially if you look right behind its head at the curve that goes down into the water.
The proportions doesn't look right.
No, it looks like it's carved out of wood. This picture. The other picture, fuck no, that's not a tree. There's no wood in that picture. Holy fucking shit, that looks like a living creature. This picture specifically looks carved, especially after I blew it up. This is the first time I've ever seen it this big in my life. And this picture, that doesn't look real.
To me, it looks like a rubber toy.
It doesn't look.
I don't know what's going on. Like, what's going on? Like, is that its shoulder? What is that? Is his tail?
I don't think this is real. And that is the picture that I have seen my entire life from a very small angle.
Ever since you were a small, acute angle.
Ever since I was a young boy, and my father took me into the city to see a marching band.
I really hate the invention of AI.
Yeah, because these pictures are a little fucked.
Really hate it.
But yeah, you can see.
There's an interesting photo of what appears to be like a lake monster. Is the Ogopogo.
I was gonna get to Ogopogo next after we really briefly
I've seen that photo
touched
before.
on.
Looks kind of like a ghostly dolphin.
This. Yo. From a smaller angle, that looked like a monster head. That's a rock.
Yeah, it looks like birds are perched on it.
Yeah, I thought it was a monster head when I saw it from this angle. I'm like, oh shit, there's a monster head, and then I zoomed it in. That's a rock.
It's like a beaching rock.
Yeah.
Something to fuck your boat up with.
Yeah, especially at high tide. So yeah, now we're gonna skip over and do Ogopogo. Lake Ogopogo. Is this the picture you're talking about?
Ogopogo. Nah.
Okay, because
Photo I'm talking about, it's completely underwater.
Ogopogo. Let me know if you see it, because I'm looking for underwater pictures.
Let me search for it.
Underwater picture.
Yeah, that one keeps coming up.
Yeah, I've seen that picture before.
The one where it looks like a
dragon head popping out the water.
yeah, kind of sort of. It looks like it's related to that other photo that you were looking at from Champ.
Yeah.
I don't see it no more.
I see some underwater
I'm
pictures.
scrolling, but I don't see it.
But there's
it must not be.
Okay, so
Oh, here it is.
another thing that keeps coming up is this. You'll see these images. This is a statue that's in Ogopogo Lake of the Ogopogo monster. There's people with it.
Okay, so here.
There's people with like these.
This is the image.
Pardon? predator. Oh,
Yeah, check out
okay.
the that image.
Okay. I did see that one up there somewhere. I did see that one somewhere. Where did I see that one? Go back. I did see that picture somewhere.
It's a thumbnail for a YouTube video.
Is it a real picture? Because I've never. Today's the first time I've seen that one, and I just saw it somewhere. I'm trying to find
I'm
it.
watching the video now.
I did just see that fucking picture. I was curious myself
So
if that was a.
it's footage taken from a GoPro.
Okay, okay, it's not like just a straight picture. Okay, here it is. I was about to say I just saw it. Yeah. God, it looks very dinosaur-y.
Yeah, very.
It's not.
Okay. There's actual video.
I get what you're saying about looks like a ghostly dolphin, but it
What the fuck?
that's not exactly what I was expecting when I.
Copy at the current time. Okay. So I got it copied. I got this video link and I copied it at the right before it starts playing the GoPro.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of looks like a horror movie.
Let's watch
I'm not seeing anything. Alright, I'm seeing it.
It looks a bit like a velociraptor.
Wow. Alright, that was fast.
Oh.
Pretty impressive, actually. Whoa, there it goes away.
Uh-huh.
Alright. Wow.
It looks like a really like skeletal
Yes,
dolphin.
yes.
Whew.
Yep, well, it looked
Man,
big.
we got the video now. Now we got the video. Cindy, we're gonna have to get her on. I'm wanting
Okay.
to get.
No.
We just got the video in.
Weird audio.
Give me
Just got the
a
video in
second.
from Cindy. We've been looking over photographs.
Send
Now
it
we're
to
gonna
us.
watch for the first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here we go.
Okay, send it
That
to
looks
us.
weird.
Yeah, by all means.
We're gonna play it screen capture. We're gonna watch it for the first time.
Like it ain't got no eyes.
Hold on.
Seeing anything. Alright, I'm seeing it. Alright, there we go. Wow. Alright, that was fast.
You're watching it?
I'm not seeing a serpentine monster.
Yeah, it looks kind of like I see arms.
Yeah,
I see what it
that's
looks
not a
like
serpent.
appendages.
Okay, so obviously I have to ask this question because I work in video editing, so I know some things when I see them. That something that looks off about it. I can't tell what
It's
it
almost
is.
like a movie.
Yeah, it almost looks CGI.
Apparently, this is a video from 2018. GoPro
Something about it. This specific clip.
That was
along the shore of
pretty
Lake
impressive.
Champlain.
Whoa, there it goes away. Alright. Wow.
Yes, yes.
Whew.
Yep, well, it
Damn.
looked big.
She claims that the creature
We
clamped
got
onto
the
her
video
arm
now.
as a warning.
Now we got the video. Cindy, we're gonna have to get her on. I'm wanting.
What?
I'm gonna send you a picture.
Wow, dude.
I'm gonna send
Yeah, it looks
you.
dolphin-esque.
I'm gonna send you a picture of something, and I want you to tell me you don't see the same thing. I want you to tell me you don't fucking see the same damn thing. Give me 1 second.
Damn it. Heck and damn. Damn and heck. Yeah, he does like a weird duck-billed dinosaur. That's new artwork too. That's what they look like. Um, damn, what's the name of that dinosaur?
That specifically is the Hadrosaurus fuculi or some shit like that.
Yeah, very common dinosaur.
Yeah.
But only recently did we find a mummified one with a big schnoz on it.
Mm-hmm.
I see. I kind of see that, but not really. What I really see is a skeletal dolphin. I see a skeletal dolphin. That's very weird. It looks like a zombie dolphin about to reach up
Okay.
and grab her.
A lot of people on the comments of this video are mentioning this, something that I was sitting here thinking myself. Lake Champlain is a murky, swampy green year-round because of the trees around it. How does
To
she
get
have
her on third base, get her side of
blue-tinted,
what went
very
down. She
clear
actually claimed
water
this
in
thing
Lake
attacked her, and you
Champlain?
can see
This specific video, I have to question, is this real? Because at the beginning of it, it almost, when it's moving, it almost looks like it was made in Blender. The way it
It looks like
moves.
it looks like a straight up like raptor type dinosaur.
Yeah, it looks literally nothing like any other description of Ogopogo. Ogopogo ever. Ogopogo is usually described as being serpentine-like, and this thing clearly had 4 limbs.
You ever seen a river dolphin?
The thing that looks like a ichthyosaur? Yeah,
River
the thing that
dolphins,
looks like a fucking ichthyosaur.
River dolphins, they swim in very murky, root filled rivers in the
Yeah.
Amazon.
They swim in brackish water. I see what you see in the face there, but personally, in that specific video, I see arms.
Yeah, it looks like appendages. Yeah.
Those are full on arms, and the head, in my opinion, looks like a skinny hadrosaur. And another reason I'm asking is that CG, this is a dumb thing that you might not even care about. When you look at it before it opens its mouth, its lips are perfectly together. Like in that picture, you can see it. Its lips are perfectly together. Where's its teeth?
Yeah, no sign of teeth, no sign of eyes.
The fact
There's
that
no
it's
teeth.
clear.
It looks like it's got his mouth completely open. I see no teeth.
Yeah, it's in clear water with a blue light, and you can't see teeth or eyes, which you should be able to see because white will reflect blue very clearly. Even tinted white, like yellowish, like our teeth or our eyes, would still reflect blue very well, and that's reflecting a void, which tells me that there's no lighting going in there, which there would be from that angle.
It looks like empty sockets. That's what it looks like.
I believe that this specific video is CG. I don't believe that there is a single way that this is real.
Now there is a video of two kayakers boating out in the middle of a lake, and something like brushes by them, and the terror that you can hear from one of the person in the boat's voice.
Yeah.
It like it was 100% real. Like there's no way you could fake that.
Also, just
We'll try to find that.
really quick, I want to point out something in this video that I've seen now 3 times, and It comes from behind a rock, right? It comes out from behind this rock, and you can see that behind it is a rock formation. Where the fuck did it come from? And if it's as long as they say it is, 30, 40 feet or something like that, it wouldn't have had the room to fit its body there. Plus, when it swims by, you can see that it doesn't have a tail. And then it does suddenly when it's swimming back into the rocks, but there's no cave for it to go into. It's just solid rock behind it. I
Excuse me.
fully think that this video is CG. That water is too clear, and then the lighting effects change depending on the angle, and it wouldn't happen like that. The light would still be coming from the top, not the side. Suddenly the light comes from the side of it halfway through the video. Like the
Did you
camera.
Did you find a video?
No. I was still looking at this one that you sent me, the first one. Because the more I watch it, there's literally nowhere that thing could have came from. It comes from solid rock.
I really can't tell. It's too dark and murky.
Well,
Could've
that's
been
the
anywhere.
thing. Halfway through, you can see between the 6:30 mark and about the 8:30 mark, you can see that the lighting changes several times. One video clip is darker, and then one video clip is way brighter, and you can see everything clearly. And it doesn't look like they did that in editing. It looks like someone was playing with a lighting scroll in Blender. Because the light looks naturally coming in, but it's like one clip of the video, it's really dark, and the next clip of the video is extremely blown out, and it shouldn't be. I can literally see in one of the little clips about, let me see if I can find that exact section again and tell you at what time. You can see the lighting changes, and you can see that there is solid rock behind it. There's nowhere for it to go. It's coming out of and going directly into a solid rock wall. Yeah, the first around 6:30, you see the clip, and the entire lighting is way brighter at the scene where it's swimming in. And then just a few seconds later, the entire clip is way darker, and it looks more cinematic.
It kind of did play out like a movie.
Yeah, even the sound, it doesn't sound, the
Yeah.
audio doesn't sound like a
The audio
GoPro
is
going
strange
underwater.
too. It's
It
like
sounds,
she's screaming. It's like she's screaming.
and it being too crisp, you can clearly hear it making noise and her making noise underwater, but you don't hear as much movement underwater as you should with a GoPro. Like, I've heard GoPro footage underwater. It doesn't sound good. Every little bubble moving past that mic, you can hear it. You don't hear any of that here. Like, the least little wave in the water will affect the camera.
I cannot find that video.
I'm sorry, but
I'm looking for a very specific video.
I'm just clicking through this while you're doing that. I was gonna say just find that one and send me that one, because this one,
Huh. I don't know how to look for it either. Like, there's nothing very specific that I can search for. It's just two people in a kayak, and they bump into something underneath the boat.
okay, no. So
But yeah,
if you scroll a little bit further down in these comments, you get the full blown like paranormal conspiracy theories about the veil lifting and creatures from the other side finally.
yeah.
And it means the end of the world and all this. And I'm like, dude, just shut the hell up.
Yeah, people go off the deep end.
Oh my fucking god. Like, and then there's people down here talking about it's UFOs, it's aliens. Everyone else in the comments says this thing looks like a dinosaur, and one dude's like, it's an alien. Like,
I
read the
mean,
room, dude. Read the room. We clearly think that this is a fish, not an alien.
one thing I learned from like, reading cryptid stories and eyewitness encounters and is that like there's nothing like no theory is too out there, honestly.
Another one
Like,
down here, dude. He literally just puts in all caps, "It's a reptilian." And then one
I
dumbass
mean,
says it's a
who
dragon.
knows? I mean,
Dragons, 100%, we know dragons physically could not exist.
dragging these nuts.
But
I'm getting
reptilian,
tired of these aquatic monsters.
yeah, I'm ready to move on to the next one. We were on the last one anyway. Skinwalkers and the Wendigo. So I'm going to bring up dual pages. I'm going to go one for Skinwalker, which is of Navajo origin. Give me a second. And then Wendigo is of Algonquin, which is the West Coast. Algonquin is the basis of most of your East Coast tribes, like the Cherokees and stuff like that. Trace back to Algonquin culture.
Right.
So Navajo doesn't, and Algonquin, Ojibwe, Cree, Cherokee, all of those are of this branch. And then, Navajos and the Comanches and all those are of a different branch. And so the one things I know about these two, coming from native culture, being a native myself, growing up, my dad had a big book filled with Cherokee legends, and the Wendigo was in it. And the few things I know is that commonly it's believed that because before we split into like East Coast, West Coast natives, we all come from the same pack that crossed the land bridge thousands of years ago from Asia. Yeah, you crossed over the Bering Land Bridge and moved down through Canada and into the United States, and then on down into the southern. So everybody in the continental United States, thousands and thousands, about between 15 and 20,000 years ago, crossed the Bering Land Bridge as one tribe. And then as they moved through further down to reach warmer areas, they just kept branching off. One group would say, hey, we want to stay here. We like this area. So then they'd keep moving and more branch off, and that's how you get all these different native tribes. And both of these stories are believed to branch from the same dark creature origin from like Mesolithic era humans when we came across, like early Indians, early humans. It's believed that these two stories basically branch from the same thing because the one crossover between the two, or two of them technically, because the Wendigo is known to make noises to lure people in that sounds like something else, but they both eat flesh.
Both of them?
Both.
Both the now aren't they like two completely separate things, right?
Yes.
But
no,
they just both happen to be like just cannibals.
They're both. That's the thing, is they're believed to be based off the same like Mesolithic legend from earlier, like thousands and thousands of years ago. Whereas these trace back a few thousand years ago. They think that the basis of it would have been something that traced back tens of thousands of years ago. In early oral, before written and historical stuff, before we started keeping records and stuff, before written history, the primordial peoples had their own spoken legend, and a lot of those got interpreted into written legends later. Like you'll hear about this person tells a story of something that goes back thousands and thousands of years, and people have shared this story kind of thing. It's believed that
So
that's
if
it. That
So
it
yeah, so if it's not supernatural, then like what would it be?
Oh, I wasn't saying that. No, I was saying that both of these stories come from the same place. They're based off it's believed that both stories are based off the same oral legend from thousands and thousands of years ago, and that as the culture split up, they changed the entity itself changed to match the culture. So it's
But
believed that they both come from a evil flesh eating entity. Like that's
right,
they believe that these two legends come from the same legend but are just like variations of the same legend. But they go very, very much different. The skinwalker itself, as it says, it wears the skin of other things. That's where it gets its name. It transforms into other things and quote unquote wears its skin. Whereas the Wendigo quite literally wears a skull on its head and wears a loincloth made of flesh. Very much different. The Wendigo is just using all of its possible purpose once it eats the body. Because most show them as a pale, skinny meth goblin from Schedule 1 looking thing with a skull on its head, or an actual beast that has a skull for a head, depending on which specific story of the Wendigo you're looking at. Fallout 76 has Wendigos in it that are more on the pale, skinnier side, but they don't wear the skulls on their heads. But their big deal is they eat people. The Skinwalkers, their big deal isn't that they eat people. Their big deal is that they do eat people, but their big deal is that they lure you out by pretending to be an animal or a person in distress and mimicking human speech or mimicking human look or animal speech. So
I may not know a lot about it, but I do from what I could tell is the Wendigo is like a cannibalistic spirit meant to warn people not to stoop low enough to eat your fellow man, and the consequences of doing so turns into this emaciated, gaunt,
really quick,
pale crawler.
you played Until Dawn.
Yeah, which is
We played it together.
yeah.
Uh,
Until Dawn 2 is coming out.
so in that, the bit of legend that is 100% true, and I always love the game for that, is how you become a Wendigo is eating the flesh of another human.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you
So
turn into that. That's why when you see a lot of these descriptions and it's actually a beast with a skull on its head, that's a more new age depiction, because the actual early depictions, like the traditional depiction of it, is a gaunt, skinny human that's like pale white skin, only bones, no muscle. They're wearing a loincloth made of flesh. They're wearing an animal skull on its head.
I got a theory where we get the idea, the whole image of, goat head skull on creature. I got wasting disease, right?
Chronic
For
wasting
deers.
disease, or prions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where they get emaciated and they start like becoming cannibalistic and you know looking zombified.
Yes.
Well, if you apply that to like a moose or
Yeah.
a reindeer,
You get chronic wasting disease, which is
you could have like imagine a
Right.
giant, reindeer or moose with chronic wasting disease, and that like a emaciated moose with a skull.
But the thing is that depiction of the rotting flesh and the animal head being a skull, that is a more modern tradition or depiction based on like the settlers, the like the white settlers. The actual traditional depiction, it's not an animal. It's literally a human. It's a pale, skinny human. Just like they are in Fallout and Until Dawn. Like that's the stereotypical, the newer depiction of it with the actual furry, it made like melting away animal body that you see in a lot of these pictures when you type in Wendigo. That is more so a settler depiction of it, because if you'll go, I'll send you this picture. This isn't a traditional picture, but this looks exactly like all of the like the history, like the native history books that I've seen. Every depiction looks almost like virtually exactly like this. They have the skull just sitting on top of their head, and you can clearly see that they are still a human with long human hair and a human face and everything. So I personally don't go for this the more modern depiction that looks like you said, it looks like a giant deer with chronic wasting disease, because that's not typically what it looked like. That's like a
you know what a lesson?
1800s.
You ever heard of a lesson?
A leshy?
No, a lesson.
Leshin? I was about to say
A leshy
leshy.
is just a nickname.
Oh no, leshy. I was thinking the from Inscription.
But yeah, you know where they get that idea from of a wait, that's how you spell that.
I looked it up, and what I see, the pictures I see, the depictions of it are closer to what, and well, no, because that's made out of wood. Never mind. I thought it was a human with like a skull on its head and like bones strapped to its arms. I was about to say that's closer to what an actual Wendigo would look like.
So, a lesson is a spirit of the forest, and it's a what part of the Europe is that?
It says Slavic.
Yes, Slavic.
I don't.
Leshin is Witcher. Okay, so I guess
Yeah.
it is a Leshy. I'll be damned. I thought it was the no. Okay, yeah, Leshy.
Yeah,
A
Lesher
forest
or
deity.
Leshian apparently just pulls up. Yeah. So
The Leshy wiki.
yeah, this it looks like Leshy from the game. Strangely.
Right. So, they're very similar in the description. So I'm thinking it's not that new of an idea to have a emaciated figure with a animal skull for a head
No. Yeah, like
in the forest that haunts it.
if the
It's kind
Leshian
of strange.
from Witcher wasn't made out of wood, like it was actually a human with stuff strapped to it instead of a tree that came to life with something strapped to it, that would be like dead on what a Wendigo would look like, which honestly, strangely, looks very similar to uh, a couple of depictions of skinwalkers, which very well could also be a depiction that they come from the same legend. That could just be more of a nod to be like, it still looks the same. Huh.
And I think pale crawlers or rakes, you might say that's a modern thing, but I don't think so. I think they go back. I think they go way back.
The rake?
I think that's where we get some of the tales of skinwalkers.
So the rake itself, as in the one that got popular from the
Yeah, you can
what was it, a picture from
creepypasta.
yeah, it was a creepypasta. That itself, yes, that story, that picture, that creepypasta, that is modern. But the rake is actually dangerously similar to the actual German legend that Slender Man was based off of.
You know, Slender Man's origins, they come from Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, but he, in the game, he's based off a German legend.
I'm not sure about that, but
Did
I
you
think
did you
the
play the
tales
games?
of like, no, me personally, no, I didn't. I have not
Okay,
played it.
so from what I remember from playing when I played the first game and from reading it on creepypasta, is it starts out saying that it's a German legend. It's not. That's part of the creepypasta, but it's
Yeah, because
it,
I know the origin is like American, like actually in Wisconsin.
yeah, no, like it's actually, but in the beginning of it, I read it so many fucking years ago, so I don't remember how it worded it, but it claims that it's based off of a German legend of a guy who come to steal children that were bad or something, and he would be tall
Every
and
culture has
slender.
those tales.
It's something like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not the actual German culture of a guy coming to take bad children away is fucking Krampus, but uh, uh,
but
that's
yeah,
what they
I
say
think,
in and this is what they show is something very strangely similar to this, but without the mouth and nose.
but yeah, I think the rake, the pale crawlers, uh, uh, skinwalkers, I think they're like very like well connected. I think they're connected. I think it's more than just a creepypasta. In fact, I think all creepypastas come with like they're not just made out of a vacuum. You know what I mean? I think there's a kernel of truth in there somewhere. Like somebody saw something weird and told a story, and somebody heard that story and decided to, make a story on the internet.
So
You know what I mean?
yeah, so Skinwalker,
Nothing's created in a vacuum.
when you read the textbook description, the Navajo description of a skinwalker, it is a
It's a really bad
it's a
dude, bad
type
shaman.
of harmful witch. So, like you said, really bad shaman who has the
Yeah.
ability to turn into, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. They
In order to
don't
do that, they
mention,
have to like kill. They have to kill one
yeah,
of their loved ones.
they have to kill and eat them. So it's
Damn,
that's why they say it's literally the same basis as the
it's
Wendigo.
dark magic.
They start
Yeah,
from
it's
the
dark magic.
same story because they're both about eating people to gain dark power.
Yeah, every culture has like good and bad magic.
So
That's one of the bad sides.
that's why I say that I believe it's not even I believe it's like directly these two are based off the same story from uh prior Indian culture before the split.
So if you were to like boil it down and try to explain it, you got one that's a tale of the the dangers of cannibalism, and the other is the dangers of like betrayal and
Well,
uh like lust for power.
that no, they kind of both are the same thing because they both of them transform by eating the flesh. Like they both literally are cannibals. Like I believe the root of the story is don't eat people. I believe that is just the entire root of the legend is just this bad things happen to you if you eat people, which has been proven. Mad cow disease is literally a form of chronic wasting disease or prion disease that not transforms, it transmits to humans. And
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
yourself
yeah.
eat humans and they have misfolded proteins, you yourself will get that. I believe they're both based off the same legend of eating flesh because both of them, this person turns into an evil creature because they ate flesh. It's not really the betrayal. The killing the loved one happens all the time in native culture. It
We
was the
splitting
fact
hairs.
that they ate the flesh. So it's like I feel like this also plays into other legends of flesh-eating peoples or beings. Like you said, like the rake, which I don't think the rake itself has that connotation, does it? Does it eat people?
I wouldn't find out. I wouldn't try to find out.
You're not gonna go ask it a question.
No, I'm not gonna.
I don't know, but I think a lot of these, I think the the ultimate lesson from that is don't eat people.
Scariest cryptid. Go. What is it? What's the scariest one? You don't want to. You don't want to meet it in the dark alley. Which one?
Oh,
I say dog man. It's like a legit werewolf.
Don't jump the gun.
Like-
We're not to dog man yet. That's in the list. Don't jump the gun. We have a whole nother topic in between this and that.
I'm jumping the gun, the bazooka, the cannon.
We're skipping aliens, which is like one of your favorite fucking things to talk about.
Is that a cryptid? It is, I guess. Yeah.
Yes. 100% by definition, a cryptid is a creature that we have no explanation for.
Is Jesus a cryptid?
I plead the fifth. I can't say what I want to say. I might get demonetized.
Santa Claus could be a cryptid.
Santa Claus is a cryptid. You wanted to talk about Dogman.
Yeah, he's lesser known. He's lesser known. He doesn't get a lot of FaceTime like Bigfoot.
Okay, don't just Google the word Dogman, because apparently there's an animated movie and a French horror movie called Dogman.
People like associate it with werewolf, but it's actually something different. There's no accounts of like people transforming into it. I will actually, yeah, I guess Skinwalker would count as a werewolf.
Yes, it would.
type thing, but I don't know if they're related, the Dogman and Skinwalkers. That would be interesting. Huh.
There's a couple pictures on here that look very werewolfy. There's one called the Michigan Dogman.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous, the Beast of Briar Road.
The picture that they show literally looks like the American Werewolf in London. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what this actual picture is from because this is on a fandom page. But if that's an accurate representation, yeah, I can see how you get werewolf out of that because that literally looks like a werewolf.
Eyewitness accounts are terrifying because these things are like blocking, right out of a horror movie.
Okay, so I see where the connection comes from. Have you ever heard of the Rougarou?
Yeah. Same. Louisiana Dogman. Yep.
I was about to say that's not the name for it, but Native Americans also have that, and it is also related to the Wendigo because it transforms from eating humans. There's a lot of native legends about don't eat humans.
Yeah.
The French name Rougarou comes from the French name loup-garou, which loup means wolf. Garou, I don't fully know. I think that means transform or something. Turns into or something.
That makes sense.
So the actual definition of Rougarou is werewolf, basically, from the French translation. But not in the sense of what people commonly think as a werewolf. It's more of a you fuck up one time and you turn into this for life.
Cannibalism? Not even once.
Yeah, it's like eat one human, believe it or not, straight to Rougarou. So I'm wondering if that's where the connection comes from. The Beast of Bray Road. I've never heard
Yeah,
of
the
this one.
eyewitness account for that is fucking terrifying. He got chased in a side by side, like a four wheeler. Pulled his gun out, shot it, did nothing to it. In fact, if you listen to the first, one of the first or second owners of Skinwalker Ranch, one of their first on their first day there was some weird shit with a giant wolf.
We've briefly touched on the Skinwalker Ranch before, and that specifically, like I said, that they did a lot of research on that. Like they went out there and stayed for an extended period of time and experienced nothing. So there's no we can't really
I like the
back up any of
eyewitness
that.
testimony from the owners. Once the TV cameras got there and the show started, it started, you know, once it goes to cable, yeah.
I was gonna say, like, literally, I'm under the
It's kinda-
impression Skinwalker Ranch is way blown over proportion. That it's probably nothing near the stories that we've heard because we've only heard it since it's gotten famous. And obviously, once they get famous, they're gonna spice the story up a little bit more to bring in some more money. So I believe we need to, the Skinwalker Ranch stories, we need to keep in the back of our minds that it could be slightly exaggerated. I do believe there's something going on, but I do believe, because some of the stories that I've heard are just like fully out of fiction. Like, there's no way that this happened this way. You had to have played some parts up. But I might have seen one or two clips of them before they got famous, and if I remember correctly, the stories weren't as outrageous as they are now. So it's possible that is played up a little bit, but I can see that this could fully, I mean, it's a big-ass dog. The legendary 7-foot tall canine monster.
Yeah, it's terrifying. I've heard of a couple of encounters.
Dogman
Um,
of Michigan.
there were some episodes of Sasquatch Chronicles where they had dogman encounters. Shit's terrifying.
Yeah, a lot of people talk it. Apparently, the Michigan dog. I'm reading a story on it right now. The Michigan Dogman. Apparently, the most common description is it's a skinwalker. Because apparently, the Michigan Dogman, the story itself is not nowhere near modern. Apparently, this goes back to native legends thousands of years ago. I'm reading the history of the Michigan Dogman. It says, by some accounts, the Michigan Dogman was known to Native Americans long before white settlers ever spotted it. Legend has it that the beast once terrorized the local Odawa tribes along the Manistee River. Some of these tales describe it as a skinwalker. So apparently, the Michigan Dogman, there's more to it. I don't know when the first report of the Michigan Dogman is, but this is saying that it goes back way further than even the first spotted in the late 19th century. So that would be what, the late 1800s?
19th century.
Yeah, that'd be the late 1800s. So
It wouldn't be like 1910 or something. 1920.
no, because the 1900s was the turn of the 20th century, and 2000 was the turn of the 21st century. So 18th would have been the late. I mean, the 19th century would have been the late. The late 19th century would have been the late 1800s.
Interesting.
Yeah, I had to learn that in school when I was a kid because 2000 was coming around the bend, or was on the bend, so we had to learn about the 21st century. So yeah, that would have been the late 1800s is when white people is only. Oh yeah, right below what it says is it literally. It seemed apparently is only. While there's no concrete proof that this creature even exists, the Dogman sightings have seemingly only increased since the 1800s. But like it says down below this, it goes way back to local tribes that lived along the river long before white people even came to the area.
Yeah, Dogman.
Apparently, the first accounts of it that white people heard from natives was in the 1640s, and they didn't believe them, basically. They pretty much just chalked it up to you killed these people. Apparently, there was a tribe of Iroquois that was invading, and they got slaughtered, and the Potawatomi, I don't know that tribe. They apparently were telling the settlers that they were like, why'd you bury these people so hastily and shit? And they were like, because they were killed by the Dogman. The white people were like, you're making shit up. You killed them. So apparently they were told about it 200 years before it was ever first noticed by lumberjacks. And nobody believed them. And it wasn't until lumberjacks in 1887 got their first encounter with what they believed to be a stray dog. And by this account, no, it is not 7 foot tall. So where did the 7 foot thing come from? It says it literally was a stray dog. It was the size of a stray dog. And then it stood up on its hind legs and chased them. And that was the first story of the Dogman. There's got to be more to that. That
scary shit.
That literally the first one is just a stray dog chased us on hind legs, and that's the entire story. It says they... Okay, I'll read it out to you. The first modern Michigan Dogman encounter is alleged to have occurred in 1887. Then, a group of lumberjacks working in the Wexford County spotted what they believed to be a stray dog. The men chased it until it hid inside of a hollow log, and then one of the men grabbed at a stick and reached into the log to poke it, and then it let out a snarl, crawled out of the log, and stood up on its hind legs and then chased them. And that was the entire story. But there's no mention... There's no mention of it being 7 foot, so there's got to be something missing here. Because the way this is talking, it's literally the size of a standard dog.
Weird.
There's got to be something missing. There's like 2 lines of fucking story here. There's something else. But it wasn't until 1897. Oh, that's where it is. This, apparently, a widow spoke about a group of 7 foot tall dogs that stood outside of her house every night and screamed like banshees. That was that was the next story. There's one in between there. A farmer was allegedly found dead over his plow near the town of Buckley with enormous dog tracks around his body. That's the next story. And then the third story, I'm following the stories in order. The first one is a dog chased him on the hind legs. The second one is dead farmer with big dog tracks. Third one is literally just a group of human-sized dogs that yelled like banshees outside her house. These can't be the full fucking stories. They're like a sentence fucking long, and they just sound like someone who either made this up as they were typing it, or was just like, I'm gonna Cliff's Notes it.
Yeah, it's hard to like get a bearing on a story when it's typed out.
You were talking about the first stories being terrifying, and these are like 2 sentences of dog crawled in tree, dog come out and chased us, dead man, dog tracks, dog who yell.
Dog scary, look out.
Dog scary. It's like
Big boo.
where's the actual story here? There's no story. It's just like 2 sentences of this happened.
I listen to a lot of encounters,
Okay.
eyewitness encounters, like
Fuck that. Not
straight
reading
from the
that.
mouth,
Not reading that no more because that
from
was,
the eyewitness encounters mouth.
that was bullshit.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Yeah,
Yeah, fuck. So
you would
I
have
got
to
about
like,
all I
listen.
need to know about the dog man.
Yeah,
I have no stories of the dog man, but why the fuck? Oh no. Oh no. There's apparently a version of the dog man that has wings.
wow.
That's
They
just a
fly now?
bat. That's just a fucking bat. I genuinely that's when you know when you read a story like that, you like that's literally fucking bullshit. 1 minute,
Jersey Devil. That would be the Jersey Devil, wouldn't it?
well, the Jersey Devil was a horse head and wings on a wolf and human body, I think, something like that.
Close enough.
Something like that. Let's look. Jersey Devil. Yeah, it's like a horse head. Oh no, it has horse feet, but it has like a humanoid torso.
Elongated face.
Yeah, I remember. Oh god, this shit. There's this thing called Weird and Wild Creatures back in the day, and I used to have these little cards, and there was one for the Jersey Devil. Look at this fucking shit. I had this back in the day. I remember reading it going, what the fuck? This doesn't look like it reads. Which also, this description of the Jersey Devil is a bit underwhelming.
Oh, kind of like those Dogman stories.
No, these were meant for kids. So there's a lot of details that they couldn't put up there. Like how the woman died in birth because she birthed out the thing and it ripped her open. Yeah, that one.
She birthed a dog, man.
Yeah, no, it like she died in childbirth because from what I've gathered from every story I've heard, it literally tore her open from the inside out. So that obviously couldn't have been put on there, but it's close enough. Yeah, it's got like horse feet, a humanoid wolfy looking body, wings, and a horse head with like goat horns and no ears. No ears. Yeah, that's that. Kind of like that. Got a little sidetracked on looking at that one. We'll talk about really quickly ghost cryptids because a lot of people probably won't consider a lot of ghost cryptids. Probably things more
Ghosts
like
is-
I would say things like Bloody Mary are probably more cryptids than anything.
La La Llorona.
La Llorona. Specifically, there's like 2 stories that I grew up hearing. One is about this railroad track that's uphill. I think it's here in South Carolina. And apparently this bus of kids got killed on this railroad track. And if you park your car on the hill and put on the brake and you sprinkle... No, you don't put it on brake. You put it in neutral and you sprinkle baby powder on your bumper.
Yeah.
And you're in neutral and you'll start rolling down the hill and then you'll get to a certain spot and the car will stop rolling and will start going right back uphill. And then when you get out the car, you look at the bumper and there's like children's handprints all in the baby powder.
Yep.
I've heard that one so many fucking times. There's the Blenheim The Blenheim Light, the Bingham Light, sorry, is outside of Blenheim, but the Bingham Light.
Yeah.
Which, that one, I'm gonna ruin a little bit of mythology for a lot of people. That one literally is fake.
Oh, you faked it?
No, the trees where you see it, I-95's on the other side of those trees. The story of the Bingham Light literally didn't appear until the year that I-95 was built. It's
Damn.
literally just cars from 95. I've seen it. When you go out there knowing what's on
magic.
when you go out there because it's dark. When you go out there at night, you can't see what's on the other side of those trees. When you go out there during the daytime, you literally can see that 95's on the other side of the trees. You can see that what you're looking at is headlights.
Way to ruin the magic.
It's just it's just a way to scare kids. I've seen it. I've been out there in daytime and night, and at nighttime you can't see. Daytime, you can fucking see that there's more out there. At nighttime, it just looks like you're in the middle of fucking nowhere. There's shit all around you.
Yeah, it's pretty scary.
And then there's the one, and I don't remember where this bridge is. There's this bridge where this woman went crazy, and she drove her car off into the water and drowned her kids in the back seat and drowned her in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you go out there. Let me see if I can remember exactly how. I don't remember what you have to do. You have to go out there and you do something, and you can hear her crying. And if you stay out there when you hear her crying, she will start beating on your car.
Damn.
And supposedly people's had windows busted out down there from it and everything else. Like, apparently it's supposedly real. I've heard dozens of people tell this fucking story, and it's always exactly the same. That's how I know that there's no variations. It almost sounds like everybody's experiencing it.
It's very similar to the La Llorona story.
Yeah,
very
but
similar.
That one is different because La Llorona just drowned her kids. She didn't drive the car off. This one, the woman drove, and it's an actual story. The woman actually did this. She drove her car off the bridge with her kids in the back seat and drowned all three of them. She had two kids, a boy and a girl, and she drowned all three of them. And supposedly the crying is her regretting that she did it.
I'm sorry to say, but that's very similar to La Llorona.
La Llorona didn't drown herself with her kids, though. She drowned herself after her kids died.
Splitting hairs, but yeah, you're right. It's completely different.
No, that one, this woman, there was actually, I think, a court case about it. This woman went crazy and killed herself and her kids. La Llorona's kids got killed, and she killed herself in grief.
You're right. It's completely different.
It is. It genuinely is a different story.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, you're right.
Something about the woman didn't want her husband to have the kids or something, so she said if she couldn't have them, nobody would, and she killed all three of them. Which is
it's got nothing to do with that.
Very fucking common story around here, apparently, because there's been multiple cases of that in South Carolina. Yeah, the woman went fucking crazy and killed her kids, and she's crying because she regrets doing it. And then the longer you stay, she apparently gets mad that you're there because she doesn't want anybody to know, I guess, is the story. I've never seen this one, and I don't even know where the fucking bridge is. I know it's somewhere near here, but that could also be in fucking North Carolina, considering how close we are to the border. Oh, and then you wanted to hear this story. My uncle told me this story. He was driving down a back road coming from Charleston one night. He worked went down there and did something for work in Charleston. Don't remember what it was. He worked in like paper mills and shit though, so it had to be something to do with a plant. He goes down there and he's working, and on the way back, it's raining, and he gets on this long stretch of highway where there's like nothing. It's part of the national forest, I think, that's down there. And he sees this woman on the side of the road, and he pulls over and he asks her if she needs a ride because she's out there with no umbrella. She's in the pouring fucking rain. She's only wearing a little light jacket. He tells this story vividly. And, like, the look on his face when he tells it, it's like he's fucking terrified that this happened, and he's still trying to find answers years and years later. So he picks her up, and she's like, thank you for picking me up. I've been out here all night. And he's like, yeah, where are you going? I'll make sure you get there. It's pouring. You don't need to be out here. And it's like, your car break down? She's like, no. She's like, I went walking, and she had a fight with her husband or something. She went walking. And they had this long conversation. They're talking, and she's telling her about the husband problems and all this and that. And he's driving for like an hour, and he keeps asking her, he's like, where am I taking you? And she's like, just a little bit further. Just a little bit further. And at this point, he thinks he's getting robbed. He thinks she's going to rob him.
Mm-hmm.
And they get to this bridge. And she's like, you can stop me here. And he looks around, and he's like, this is a bridge in the middle of nowhere, and it's pouring fucking rain. And she's like, well, I can't go up there past the curve. So just drop me here. He goes, woman, I can't do that. And she gets a little feisty, and she's like, just let me out here. And he stops, and he pulls over, and he's like, you know what, fine. He lets her out of the car, and she's just standing there, just looking at him. And he's like, this bitch is fucking crazy. So he pulls off. He looks her in the rearview mirror, and there's nowhere for her to go except off the goddamn bridge into the water. She's gone.
Damn.
And he spends the rest of the ride home trying to figure out where the hell she went. And he was like, I'm not going back there to fucking find her either. And he starts telling somebody this story. And they're like, oh, you picked up a dead woman. So what the fuck are you talking about? This woman got in a fight with her husband and took off in the car in the rain and drove the car and smacked into a tree at the curve that she told him she couldn't go past. And they called it Dead Man's Curve in that area. And it's not even that drastic of a curve, but in the dark and in the rain, you wouldn't be able to see it. Apparently, she wrapped her fucking car around the fucking tree and died right there at that curve. And that's why she couldn't go past it. And he looks this shit up, and it's true. The woman died right fucking there where she told him she couldn't go past. She's like, I can't go past the curve. And he couldn't figure out why. Because she died at the fucking curve. She can't go past the curve because that's where she is. And to this day, to my knowledge, this man has never picked up another fucking hitchhiker in his life. I've been with him in the car, and we see like a group of people on the side of the road. And instead of even stopping to help, he's like, nope, keep going. He's like, they might not even be there. So yeah, that's one of the cryptid stories that I have a connection to that one. And that one, it's freaky because I've been through that area and I've seen that bridge, I've seen that curve, and every time I go through there, it's freaky as fuck. I'm like, no, not doing this. Nope. I'm gonna cut some of this. This is gonna be a long episode for the thing, I think.
I think so.
I'm gonna skip over the Dobar Chew because it's just another Nessie. The Duende. This is
Windy.
this is something you talked about.
Just a little goblin, a little gnome.
They could very well.
Little fae.
Yeah, I was about to say they could very well be the like gnomes.
Yeah, little fae creature.
Gnome legend. Are they based off the? Let's just look up Duende. Duende.
Duende.
Mischievous elf-like creature in Iberian and Latin American mythology. So is Spanish. But how does Iberia play into Spanish? What? Okay. Oh, okay. Hispanic, Portuguese, and Filipino lore. These are like the little guys all over the planet, actually, but Europe and
Oh, yeah.
Native
All
Americans
over.
had legends of it.
UK, Europe.
I think even Asia had some.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've got something like that.
But I know Europe had like gnomes and elves, and then like the natives had the little people that lived in the forests. Yeah, okay, so these things are mischievous, it says.
Yeah, little tricksters.
They steal your shit. It literally just translates to elf from Spanish. What the fuck?
Don't eat the food they offer.
Is there a tale about that?
Yeah. If they offer you any kind of food or drink, don't take it. You'll become trapped in the fae
What if I
fae
wanna
world.
What if I want to become one? Is a
That's your
duende
prerogative.
a demon? No, they are not demons. Are they evil? Yes, they are evil. Well, no, it says they're generally viewed as mischievous tricksters rather than strictly evil, but they do dangerous things sometimes. They can do very malevolent pranks that hurt people. And apparently they steal children by luring them into the woods.
It's another common folklore.
Yeah, a lot of folklores have history in there being a reason for it, and a lot of stuff like that's to teach children not to wander too far or something like some shit like that. So this is kind of like that. Apparently, Caribbean and Latin American regions, they protect wild places and only attack or play tricks on humans who disrespect nature, hunt unnecessarily, or mistreat children. So it's a little bit more than just something to scare children. It also scares adults into not mistreating their children.
It works both ways, huh?
Apparently so. I'm going to try to dabble through the next couple ones really quickly. Thunderbirds.
Giant birdos.
We're going to dip really quick into this.
Giant
because
birds.
It claims that the biggest bird to live in America was the Argentavis magnificens, which was holy fucking shit. Massive wingspan of up to 23 feet.
That's a plane.
So they claim they would have gone extinct from 6 to 8 million years ago. However, recently, I say recently, I'm not sure exactly what year it was. It's been quite recently. We have discovered that there was later than 6 to 8 million years ago, giant relatives of the Argentavis or the condor lived alongside early humans in the Americas, and they've pretty much pointed the finger to say that these bones that they found and this information that they found about the Thunderbird itself or about this giant bird is what fucking sparked the Thunderbird mythology.
Yeah.
And as we were talking earlier, you were like, what about the thunder noise? And when you think about it, you see a giant condor or something like that, some giant bird. You see it flap its wings. It makes a very audible noise.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying
the
it
bigger the
flaps
bird,
so hard.
Yeah, the bigger the bird, the louder the noise. Condors are huge, but they've got like a 6 feet wingspan. Times that up by like 3. You know?
And it might just whip and crack.
Yeah, it might genuinely sound like thunder. And the more kicker to this is the mound building people of America, which would have been rather early, kind of like mid-range. Somewhere between, it says the earliest petroglyphs were found at a place that was used between 250 to 1500, sorry. 250 BCE to 1500 AD. I misread the fuck out of that. So 250 BCE was, over 2,000 years ago, 3,000, 4,000 years ago. And 4,000 years seems to be probably the last time that one of these birds ever flew across the sky. So it's entirely possible that these, and it's even wilder, is thunderbirds are almost only known inside the Americas, where these giant birds would have fucking existed at, I think we can point the finger to say that that's where the Thunderbird tradition come from, is literal giant birds.
Like a leftover, like a primal fear.
Even 4,000 years is quite a distant time, but that would still. Oh God! Now people are trying to say that. Oh God! This goes deeper than I thought. What the fuck? Okay, going deeper. It might not even just be a primal fear. It might also be just the fact that their recent ancestors, like their grandparents, might have seen these things. So apparently, storms in this mythology, this lore, I guess you'd say, the storms are caused by both thunderbirds and whales together.
Whales.
And in 1700, there was a massive earthquake in the Cascadia zone off of on the coast of Washington, California, Canada, all that sent a tsunami to Japan that caused some destruction. And apparently the natives have constantly blamed the bird and the whale myth on that. And it's apparently the bird and the thunderbird and the whale fight. And the thunderbird clacks its wings and splits the earth, and the whale launches a wave, and this shit goes deep, dude. Oh, there's a religion called Datura that believes in the Thunderbird, and it's literally a religion based off of them getting high off the Datura plant.
That is a wild statement.
Yo! Woo! Going from that, we're going to talk about the giant snakes. The giant snakes. You brought up the picture that was taken in Africa.
Yeah.
I'll go pull it up real quick. It was Africa, wasn't it? It was in the Congo, right? Yeah, no, it was. Okay, so there's both positives and negatives to this story, and we slightly talked about it.
I think it's real.
Real, yes, but the guy that took the picture, the army pilot or whatever, made these bold claims that this thing was like mega sized. We're talking well over 100 feet, bigger than the largest snakes ever to exist. Ever. So no one's even calling it the 100-foot snake anymore. Its official name is now the 50-foot snake, and it's commonly believed that that was like a top end of it. So the pilot that took the picture just flat out, exaggerated a little bit. He claims it rose up 10 feet in the air, but that would have been a fifth of its body. I don't know that it actually would have rose 10 feet in the fucking air. But they went back and they went to the exact location. They took measurements. They measured the trees. They measured the paths. They measured the ant hills, or what were they, ant mounds?
Termite mounds.
Termite mounds. And they determined that, they determined that the picture is real, that it is not doctored, and it is not a fake. It is not zoomed in. I mean, it is slightly zoomed in because of the fact that he was shooting it from a helicopter. He had to zoom in slightly so he didn't get helicopter blades and all that shit in the fucking picture. But it's not like hyper zoomed in like the fucking Loch Ness Monster, where it looked like these little droplets in the water are giant waves. It's only very slightly zoomed in, just enough that you don't get any interference from the helicopter itself in the picture. And they've determined that this snake was closer to 50 feet than he says, because in 1959, he was saying that it was over 3 times that size. He was saying it was well over 100 feet. He said it was some odd. How many meters did it say it was? Because everything up here is given fucking. No, there are no scientifically verified 33-foot anacondas, but there is entirely been 33-foot anacondas in the past.
Yeah, it is completely possible, dude.
Snakes, and like you mentioned, alligators and lobsters, they don't have that genetic marker that tells them to stop growing. If snakes like that had no predators and nothing to stop it in the wild, nothing would kill it. I fully feel like these snakes would abso-fucking-lutely get that big. God damn it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Even Forrest Gallant, who is known to exaggerate shit, is saying that there's no. He's also saying that there's no way this snake rose 10 feet in the fucking air. He's saying the same thing everyone else is saying, 50-foot top end, which is still bigger than the biggest snake on Earth today,
Yeah.
That's still outrageously large and unrealistic. But
like the Titanoboa was
Titanoboa
was measured at estimated to be that long too.
Yeah, so like he was saying that it was, double the size of the largest snake ever to known to exist, the Titanoboa. We have not found any proof of anything bigger than Titanoboa snake-wise. And this picture is from all measurements, and I actually just saw a picture up here somewhere, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to look at it. 2 trees side by side, tree, mound, snake. It's breaking down the size of things, and it's showing the size of the tree, and that snake, its body is the fucking width, like the circumference of the tree trunk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's pretty nutty.
there's people on Facebook talking about this picture's got to be AI, and there's people calling them out in the comments like, dude, this is literally a picture from the 60s.
I hate the invention of AI.
Yeah, there's people even arguing with the people like this picture wasn't taken in 1960. They didn't have cameras this good in 1960, and it's like this is a very potato picture. This was definitely 1960, but you can clearly tell that is a snake. I've never seen something more snake in my life. On top of this, there's been National Geographic people have went and got snakes 20, 30 feet long out, the Congo where this snake was photographed. The rainforest, anacondas. 20-foot long anacondas all day long, I don't feel like that. I don't feel like this is fake. I do. I'm with everyone else. I am 100%. We know for certain that the dude had to over exaggerate the size because, like we said, they measured it at 50 foot. We have a direct. Here's a side by side picture, and the damn thing was next to a fucking river.
Right.
Yeah, okay, so they got the side by... I don't know if it'll let me send this picture real quick. I'm going to try, because it's from Reddit. Reddit's... Nope, won't let me send it. Reddit won't let you save their pictures for some reason. Or even copy them.
Yeah, you can't right-click.
No, because it makes it into a WebP file that's way too large to send. Yeah, they're putting it side by side, and you can see the road, and you can see that there's well, maybe that's not a river. Maybe that's just a little creek over on the right side of where it would be at. You can physically see where the snake would have been laying because the ground looks almost the same from then to now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, that snake would have definitely been probably a good 50 foot long. I see why he was trying to say that it was 100 foot, though.
I had a book. It was tales. It was stories being told by military folk while in overseas behind enemy lines and stuff. And one of the stories was this guy's platoon was, I think it was in Vietnam, and they were heading down the river along the bank, and they saw this snake come out of the water up the bank, wrap around a cow, and just fucking haul it off into the water. Like, it was that fucking big.
Interesting.
It's a big fucking snake.
Really quick before we move on to the next topic, because we only got like one more topic after this one. Forrest Gallant actually talked on the snake discovery, and he prefaces it by calling it the 100-foot snake discovery. And he's talking about it found in Central Africa and the Congo, blah, blah, blah. Picture was taken in 1960 or 1959 by a military pilot out of a helicopter. And the uncropped picture, you can actually see part of the helicopter blade and shit. So, yeah, no, it wasn't even zoomed in. He just cropped the photo so that you could, see that without being distracted by the hole punches on the side and the helicopter blades. Here, I can actually send this one, though. He's talking about it, and he even brings up the point. He's like, this is... He measures it out by the road. He's like, I've been on that road. He's like, that's a one-lane highway. Or a one-lane dirt road. And you can kind of see the road. The tail is laying across the road. It starts in the bottom left-hand corner of the picture. It goes up around that round spot where the snake's tail is. It cuts back the same way the snake's tail is angled from his body.
Right.
And it goes around that patch of trees. And Forrest Gallant's got the picture there, and he's like, I've been down that road. It's a one-lane road. He's like, that snake would have been the width of a car.
Big.
And you can physically see it in that photo there, the uncropped photo. It is literally the width of the fucking road. You can barely make out the road, but you can see it. And, yeah. No, it's huge. It's fucking huge. Here's the even more shit. Like, I think it's real. I think the Titanic boat, but the official name, it is no longer called the 100-foot snake anymore. They call it the 50-foot Congo snake officially. So that one, I guess, has been basically proven to be real.
The giant squid is no longer cryptid.
No, yeah, that started as the Kraken thousands of years ago and stayed a myth until the early 2000s, and then they were like, hey, guess what? We fucking found one. There's the giant squid, and then there's one even larger that's only been photographed once, the colossal squid.
Right.
And we thought they were fake for literally since Roman and Greek times. We thought that it was fake. Finally found the giant squid in the early 2000s, and not long after that, they found that famous picture of the one colossal squid.
Yep.
Let me see if I can find the picture. Yeah, the red, it shows it way at the fucking bottom of the ocean. Oh, God, yeah. No, yeah. Like, that 100% proven to be a real... God, that's fucking huge. Its eye is the size of a human hand.
Yeah, like a dinner plate. Almost.
So fucking huge. I especially when we we might have discovered most everything on land, but we haven't discovered what's hiding on land, and we damn sure haven't discovered everything in the ocean. Wait till we find a fucking 100-foot sea snake.
Sea snake? Where snake?
Just really quickly, is there any local cryptids around here that you specifically wanted to talk about? Because I just want to touch on one real quick.
No, I haven't. Can't think of any right now. No, we haven't already.
The Third Eye Man.
Yeah, that one. That's a weird one.
I have been obsessed with this story for like a while. I don't even know how long. I heard about it one time in one of those like fact or fake style shows from the early 2000s. And at the University of South Carolina, there are these tunnels underneath the campus called that they call the catacombs. So they try to say that these are utility tunnels. They're meant for power and plumbing and all this and that. Whereas the university was founded in 1801. I'm dead fucking positive they didn't have modern electricity and plumbing back then. So the purpose for these tunnels is a little unknown. I'm gonna look up catacombs at USC. So they're not actual crypts. It says they're steam and utility tunnels that are from the 19th century. Again, though, however, during what war was it? It had to be the Civil War, right? No. Yeah, it had to be the Civil War. These tunnels were used for hiding soldiers. It was used for, they used to extend further out through the city of Columbia, and they would be used as like secret tunnels to get spies back and forth. And I think they also hid treasures down there sometimes. But nobody knows what else these fucking tunnels were used for because they were a secret, and the school themselves tried to deny it for a long fucking time. Finally admitted they're there, but they're saying that they're just utility tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you build utility tunnels before you had modern utilities? Okay,
Right.
sure. Steam, I do believe that maybe they did run steam pipes through there, but I don't believe that was the main purpose because back in that time, steam pipes were usually ran above ground for stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because in South Carolina, the ground is very moist, and it's not impossible to have a basement, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of money and a lot of resources to have a basement in this moist ground that we have here, unless you live up in the mountains where it's more dry, but Columbia's not exactly in the mountains. So they would have had to have a more useful purpose for putting those tunnels there. Skipping all of that, that's just backstory. There is stories of students walking in the tunnels because they hear these stories about it being haunted and yada, yada, yada. So in 1949, this group of kids are near the Long Street Theater, near the school, right?
Mhm.
They see a disfigured man called the Third Eye Man. There's a legend about him in like these robes coming out of the fucking sewers from underneath the school.
Wow.
And since then, people they keep going down there trying to find him. He chases them.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been down there, like I said, the first one was 1949. Oh God, here's pictures of people down there. Yeah, so the bottom of the tunnels, this is a more recent picture, and the bottom of the tunnels looks way more decrepit than it used to. It kind of looks like water's been flowing through there now. But the older pictures from like the 50s and 60s, the floors looked immaculate. So it's like they weren't running sewers and shit through there, you know?
Right.
They're interconnected, and supposedly the legend says that it used to go from the river to the governor's mansion, to the state house, to the college, and to the theater, and I think one other place. And again, nobody really knows what the purpose of these tunnels was built for, because it was built during a time where there was a lot of secrets and shit wasn't told about.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know why he's down there or what he's doing down there, or even if he's real. But the kicker to it, nowadays the school has every entrance into the catacombs locked off with an alarm and monitored. Now, obviously, it's because it's a hazard for them. Like, they could be responsible if somebody goes down there and gets hurt. But why would you put alarms, cameras, and locks?
Right.
So
It's a little.
what the fuck is down there? Like, nobody has pictures of the guy, strangely enough, but there is a painting that references him at the University of South Carolina that is a man that looks like Vincent Van Gogh, but he has 3 eyes.
Oh yeah.
Apparently he will come out of the sewers after you. And for some reason he's tied to the scape or swamp creature. Like when you look up the third-eyed man catacombs at USC, you also get links to the scape or swamp. Civil War tunnels. Okay, so yeah, they were built as Civil War tunnels, and somebody found. Aha. So there's 5 separate tunnels now because apparently they've closed some off. And the one underneath the school, one of the only entrance that's not blocked off is the one underneath that theater where they saw him come out of. So the question remains, is it a real person or is it a spirit or is it, what is it?
Is it a NHI? Is it an Aryan? Is it a rake? Is it a crackhead?
People keep drawing pictures of him because they see him and they show him with bald head with like sparsely hair, 5 o'clock shadow, and a third eye open on his head. Oh yeah,
Third.
they've started sealing off some of these tunnels permanently with steel and concrete as well. Okay, I'm not going to dig too much deeper into this, but we might circle back around to that one day. Now the last section, which shouldn't take but a few minutes here, and then we'll end it, is the we're going to call it the logical section, which is going to talk about, I got 4 things to talk about wrote down, which were initially cryptids, but they have been since proven to be something else entirely, which is something based more in reality. Yeah. It demystified. The chupacabra. We'll start there because that one's a relatively newer one. Out of the 4 that I've got wrote down, that's like the newest cryptid out of it. And it was discovered to be mange and disease infested dogs.
Yeah.
So the part that the kicker about that to me is it looks, when they actually brought the dog to the village where the chupacabra legend started, everyone in the village immediately recognized it. They immediately screamed, "That's the chupacabra."
Okay.
And while it doesn't look like a dog, I'll give it that. It doesn't look like a fucking dog. It looks like some sort of critter, but it doesn't look anything like any of the legends when people describe it as like this lizard creature with like a mouthful of razor sharp teeth, and then you see the actual thing and it just looks like a really, really emaciated animal.
Yeah, it really changes from.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I know. I hear you yawning. We're almost done. I think
it changes on from eyewitness to eyewitness.
I think it goes to show that a lot of the cryptid, especially the more outrageous cryptid sightings, are potentially misidentification or over exaggeration of things.
Yeah.
The next one's the will-o-wisp, which are the swamp lights. They typically are seen to shoot out of a swamp and hover within the air above it for a matter of minutes or seconds, depending. And then it just disappears. And it's an English thing mostly. Started in England. It was believed to be fae originally, and then it was believed to be spirits. And what it actually has turned out to be is an atmospheric phenomena where swamp gas effectively turns into plasma.
Reflecting off the sunlight from Venus.
Maybe not Venus. It's something that it effectively lights up the gas. It's not actually what people thought it was. They thought it was a ball of fire. And it's effectively I can't say bioluminescence because, well, I mean, it could be from like plankton or something, but it itself got determined to just be an atmospheric iridescent event, basically. And it is very similar to the phenomenon known as St. Elmo's fire, which was also thought to be a cryptid spirit that would hover over churches during thunderstorms to protect it from lightning. And then come to find out it's just particles, charged particles that gather up there before lightning strikes it.
Right.
That quickly pushes us into the next one, which I've always been fascinated with, which is ball lightning.
Weather phenomenon.
Commonly
It's still coming on.
it was thought to be some sort of entity and evil, and you were telling a story earlier about how it runs in the church and it kills people and it's shattering windows and shit. And we have maybe one, if not two, good videos of actual ball lightning, and it is exactly what the name says it is. It is lightning. It is not some entity.
You don't think it's spirits?
God, no. They did a lot of tests, and ball lightning is effectively the same thing as like St. Elmo's fire out of electricity. It's a ball of particles that charge so much that they become lightning, but they're bound together.
Yeah, I don't get it.
So instead of streaking from point A to point B in the path of least resistance, it would typically, these particles like to gather together. And it would just, when the strike hits, no one really pays attention to it because all they see is a big flash and then a big ball of plasma bouncing around. And what it is basically the particles, when the lightning strikes, the particles all gather and then they just stick there. They bind together and just like, no, we're going to chill for a second. I've always liked ball lightning. I always thought that it was interesting, and then we finally got confirmation.
So you think that's
what it is?
Is it different from like Brown Mountain Lights or the Bingham Lights?
Yes.
Completely different.
The Brown Mountain Lights. So ball lightning moves erratically and unpredictably. The Brown Mountain Lights, from what I've gathered, are very much like the spirit marchers from Hawaii. And they are spirits marching.
Every time?
Well, maybe not marching is not the right term. Spirit marchers are marching, but these are like spirits that are supposedly shooting across the sky. Darting rapidly or hovering above trees. Again, this one goes back to Native American thing. Actually, people are saying that the Brown Mountain Lights, that is now a explanation for it is ball lightning.
But I thought they were different.
Yeah. I'm a little confused because I've always read that they were like spirits and that they would always march in. Well, keep saying march. They would always move in like a direct pattern of is like a spirit moving across the sky kind of thing. But
You
now,
think a Sasquatch going in the spirit form?
now they're saying, oh hell, that come from fucking ancient aliens.
Hills, bills.
Ancient aliens is one of the
Ancient
theories
aliens.
So there's a theory on here of ancient aliens came up with it. No, the sorry, the Brown Mountain Lights. I've always heard that they were like spirits, but no, apparently
Ancient Alien says it's ball lightning, though.
no. Ancient Aliens says it's aliens.
Oh.
I got distracted. I read Ancient Aliens and was reading on that. Yeah, it's a ghost story. So they call it, another name for it is Fate Wiseman's Light.
Interesting.
Was the great
I almost heard the word Fae.
No, Fate. His name was Josiah Lafayette Fate Wiseman. And apparently his great-nephew wrote a song in 1961 called The Legend of the Brown Mountain Lights. Never heard of it. And it's literally him telling the ghost story that his uncle Fate told him.
Nice.
And yeah, again, this is reading it as it's a ghost story. So where are you getting ball lightning from?
Where'd you get the ball lightning from?
That was in a list of explanations for it. Oh, wait a minute. The U.S. Geological Survey? Whoa. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
There's a U.S. Geological Survey exclusively on the Brown Mountain Lights. Origin of the Brown Mountain Light in North Carolina. And shit.
Shiitake mushrooms.
This also goes deep. They sent the government out there to investigate multiple times. Starting in 1913 was the first time it was the first time they sent somebody out there to investigate it. And then in 1922, let's go down. Let's see what the conclusion says.
Can't be ball lightning because that'd be too rare to happen in the same spot.
Yeah,
over and
no,
over.
ball lightning does not. This happens quite often, right?
Yeah, there's video evidence of it. Like you can camp out and get photo evidence.
Okay, so yeah, the geological survey says there is no geological basis for these lights. Wow. It says at the end of the 1922 survey, 47% of the lights that the writer was able to study instrumentally were due to automotive headlights, 33% to locomotive headlights, 10% to stationary lights, and 10% to brush fires. But these lights are in the sky.
Yeah.
What train, car, stationary light, or brush fire is going to be 30 feet above the mountain? Because these images I'm showing, these, like, are way the fuck above the mountain, too. Yeah, I've always heard that it was a ghost story.
I think they're related to Bigfoot.
The native legend is basically that of the spirit marchers, the spirits making their way to the other side. So I don't know where the ball lightning thing came from, but yeah, no, the geological survey says that they have no geologic reason for why these lights are starting, but then what they're giving. Okay. Well, Bear, I see something that could be one explanation.
What?
You ever heard of the next mountain over, High Brighton Mountain?
I
Okay.
have no idea.
So there's a town. My mom's friend lives in this town. It's called Lenore. And it sits in between Brown Mountain and the other mountain. There's a radio tower on top of the other mountain. The other mountain is taller than Brown Mountain. There's a radio tower sitting on top of it with a bright glowing green light on top of it. So that could be one possible explanation for it. But I'm not seeing ball light. But.
Well, if that's the case, then you could always point your light. You could always put your camera towards the radio tower and take a picture of it. That's not always the case.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is one like possible. Like somebody could have seen this one time and thought that it was that. But most of these pictures, they're moving. Like you can literally see in the picture because of the shutter speed. You can see that the light's moving. But this could be one. This is one possible explanation. Is they've got a picture from Wiseman's View, which is the next spot that you can see Lenore, Taylorsville, and both mountains from. And yeah, you see a bright glowing green light in the sky, and look closer and it's a radio tower. So that could be one thing. But like I said, with a lot of these, the lights are physically moving in the image. Like this one. Like that one, you can physically see the lights are moving.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't get that from a stationary light. That's a light moving and the shutter moving too slow to snap it in a solid spot so it picks it up in multiple areas.
Right. Think it's swamp gas.
I just saw something that could explain it, but it would have no bearing in modern times. So there's a picture of someone in a cave up on Brown Mountain with a fire in the mouth of it at like dusk. And again, this would have no bearing on modern times because there's no nomadic tribes living in the mountains anymore and shit like that. But the Native American legends of it, could they have possibly seen a nomadic tribe walking through the mountains in dark and thought it was spirits?
That undoubtedly that probably happened maybe once or twice.
Because those mountains back in the here's a good picture of something that can't. This is why I say it has no bearing on modern times, because this is what we're getting. That's neon purple. That wouldn't have been mistaken as fire. Like, we look at that nowadays and we think that looks like electricity. But these mountains back before settlers moved in, thousands of years ago, natives just moved all around these mountains in this valley,
Right.
Could it be possible at some point in time that they saw that? And again, that also doesn't explain the ones that's thousands, hundreds of fucking feet in the air. But yeah, that could also be a possible. Yeah, it was like a picture of like a cave. I'm gonna go up here and get it real quick, and that'll be the last thing I send, and we'll go ahead and start winding down because I'm starting to get tired of shit too. What you do?
Look at this
with a
ring
drunken
camera
sailor?
footage.
What you do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. It's a blink camera. Ugh.
It's like dancing light.
Yeah. You know what? As a spider lover, you know what it looks like to me.
What?
It looks like a wolf spider making her net or her web. The way it keeps moving up and down.
Why to be shiny though?
I had IR, the way the carapace is reflecting the IR light, maybe. All the comments are saying bug, but the way it moves up and down, it reminds me of a fucking wolf spider. I have one on my porch. This is the last picture. This is the one that I saw, and I was like, could this explain it?
It would be stationary.
Yeah,
Though.
no, that's why I was saying, do you think maybe they saw, like, a couple of natives walking through there with a torch? Walking through, going back, they were going to go take care of something, or they were on a hunt and they were on the way back and they saw the torch walking through the mountains.
I think that there's some things on this planet that we cannot explain. We can't put any kind of rational objective to it. And you can't put it in any kind of little box. And by that definition, it can't be scientifically studied. There's no way of measuring it. I think there's things on this planet that just will not be measured or studied. That's what I think. And I think that science can only explain but so much. Then the rest of the way is just, faith, belief. You got to believe in something strange.
That's what I think it is. I think it's Bigfoot.
Everything goes back to Bigfoot.
I don't want to sound like that guy, but everything's Bigfoot.
I think that's good, though. I think we got a good one. I definitely got to edit it, but I think we got a good one.
I got to go pee. I got to pee really bad.
I'm going to go ahead and end it.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more. No episodes every month.